Welcome to Pagan Coffee Talk. If you enjoy our content, please consider donating and following our socials. So let's talk about integrity, especially when no one is watching.
Okay.
All right. Let's define integrity.
Well, I mean, integrity just normally means you're keeping your word, does it not?
Yes, according to dictionary.com, and this comes from Oxford Languages. This definition says the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, the state of being whole and undivided.
Right. It's that whole what would you do TV show?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that show.
You know, and I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, I think that does show, you know, that people that do have integrity, even when nobody's actually watching, nobody's actually paying attention. So,
right. So what does it mean for pagans?
Well, if we go back to the simplest way of, if we just go with keeping your word, all right. I mean, the fact is that most magical principles are placed upon this. If you cannot speak truth, how in the world do you speak a spell into reality?
Very true.
Basically, that's where it mainly affects most of us. I mean, you can get into sticky situations when you sit there and promise to do something and then you don't. And other things get upset.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so basically, it's an alignment between belief, action, and consequence.
Yes.
And it's not anything that's imposed from the outside. It's your integrity.
It's opposed, or is, yes, it's done from internal. You do this to yourself.
It's basically the difference between public virtue and private practice. Would you agree with that?
To some extent, because again, the problem with the public virtue is it's just that it's public virtue. You're not sure if they're doing it because, well, it's look at me, or are they doing it?
Right. And yeah, we're talking about, and then you can see it all over YouTube. Somebody's got a lot of money and they pass somebody on the street who's in need and they give them like $500.
Right.
And they might take them shopping.
Right.
But they film it all.
Or you see those people that go through and pay for people's groceries real fast and all this.
Right, but again, they film it. So are they really doing it because it's an internal integrity?
Or are they doing it just to get clicks?
Right.
See, again, this is back to where we have that wonderful phrase, don't let anyone speak evil of your good.
Right. I mean, it's like we used to, years ago when we had a cleaning service and we did a Toys for Tots drive around Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
And we would make the donation on behalf of Temple, but we wouldn't tell anybody.
No. Matter of fact, we
would tell people our church is collecting toys if you'd like to donate. But again, we never made a big spectacle of it, and at the donation center, we kept it anonymous.
Yes. All right. Again, people get a little bit weary when they start to find out where things come from.
Yes, they do.
There's a lot of people that will sit back going, oh, no, we can't give these toys out. They came from witches. They may have spells on them.
Mm-hmm.
Or something weird like that. People do that. Don't ask me why.
Yes, they do. So an important note about why this matters is a lot of, we'll call it decentralized traditions, rely on self-governance, accountability, and, things along those lines. And it's all about individual accountability.
But again, hence the reason why we're always pushing the ethical morals of keep your word, accept responsibility for your actions, and try to maintain balance.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I mean, because again, by doing so, if you lose the trust of the people around you because you can't keep your word, that's going to directly affect you now. It's not going to happen sometime later.
Right.
All right. So again, I mean, even if you realize that, hey, nobody's going to catch the fact that I lied about this, you do.
Mm.
And I still think that affects you to some extent.
Sure, it does. I feel like that affects you mentally because the more you lie about something, and the more you don't hold true to beliefs or yourself or anything along those lines, yeah, it's gonna break you down eventually, and you're just not gonna be the person you're trying to be.
Well, again, the majority of the times it starts off is well, I got away with it one time, so therefore I can get away with it again.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I know I volunteered to go over to Lady Greenbean's house and help her with her garden, but I'm just under the weather today.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, maybe I just shouldn't have volunteered to do this because I really don't like going over to Lady Greenbean's house and do her gardening for her.
Right. Or I'm really not much of a gardener, so should I really be sticking my hands in somebody else's garden?
Just saying.
You know, anything along those lines. It's holding true to yourself and who you are.
Right.
What's that old saying? Don't write a check your ass can't cash.
Now, don't let your mouth write a check that your ass can't cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's the same thing.
True. Well, I mean, again, don't get me wrong. And again, we're going to have to go back to the whole oxen metaphor here.
Mm-hmm.
If your ox falls in the ditch on Sunday, do you go to church or do you get your ox out? Well, you get your ox out. Now, if your ox falls in the ditch every Sunday, either kill the ox or fill in the ditch.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the philosophy throughout craft over and over again is to fix the problem. There should never be a recurring problem over and over again.
Right. And if it is a recurring problem, the idea is to give you the tools for you to be able to get to the root of the problem and again fix it.
Fix it. If you're late to work every day because every time you get up you have a flat tire, get new tires. My point there is every time you go, if you're late for work because every time you get up you got a flat tire, get new tires.
Right.
Figure out why in the world you have flat tires every morning.
But now could this be a direct relationship to your actions shaping your reality? So like just you being lazy about your tires?
Pretty much, it's just people not keeping up with what they need to keep up with. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, I'm the best one about keeping up with the maintenance on my car.
Right.
All right. But I keep up with it enough to make sure I can at least get going to where I need to go.
Right.
And I'm probably a little bit when I was working,
Mm-hmm.
I was a little bit more vigilant about it because, again, you never know that morning you get up and your vehicle don't want to work.
Right. Which has happened, regardless of maintenance.
Right. I mean, it happens. We have to prepare for the worst, but hope for the best.
Right.
So again, allowing that to get into the way of you being able to consistently do something or
Mm-hmm.
consistently keep your word, there's a problem there.
Right. And this goes for whether or not somebody is there to witness or applaud you or even condemn you for doing something.
Right.
That's the whole thing we're talking about is it goes beyond just having somebody to witness.
Right. Matter of fact, I would sit there and tell you it's probably better if you did.
Right.
Just do.
Right.
People can tell. We don't always give people enough credit. And I know that's strange coming out of my mouth about picking up on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, there may be some people, it might take them a little bit longer to pick up on, hey, that you keep on doing this or you keep on not keeping your word or your integrity. But eventually people will figure it out.
Yes.
With enough time. I was going to say, we have a tendency to tell on ourselves after a while.
I was going to say another old saying, Give someone a shovel, they'll dig a ditch deep enough to bury themselves in
Exactly. What's that? Give them just enough rope to hang
it.
themselves.
Yeah.
It's completely true. I mean, I've been in management, and I know a lot of people thought I was nuts, but there are a couple of places where I purposely put someone in a leadership position because as soon as you put them in a leadership position, it puts a bigger spotlight on them.
Yes.
And again, the issues I was having with them then become more highlighted to going, oh yeah, we need to get rid of this person.
Yeah, and oftentimes when you're in that type of situation, people will look at you and be like, why did they get the promotion?
Seriously.
Well, there's a reason.
Sometimes there's a reason.
Trust the madness. It's okay.
All right. And especially if your boss is a witch, because again, I tend to think we're a little bit more sneakier about stuff.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's all the Freud and, Jung in our hands. All right. It should be that way. You should want to keep your word.
Mm-hmm.
You should want to be that virtuous person.
What are some examples that, some that I can think of are like cutting corners in ritual or your magic work, claiming titles that you don't actually have.
So you have, or fudging those, or allowing people to believe something else. Yeah, mainly that happens when and again, you sort of pick up on it because what you'll hear people doing is, yes, I did, this coven's first degree classes.
Right.
And then kind of just stop there. They don't. Did you get initiated? Did you not get initiated? Or
well, and see that also goes to another example is, avoiding those really difficult conversations or, even responsibilities that come with leadership and with those titles. Because when people ask you, they want details, and if you can't give it to them.
Well, again, here's your problem. And again, most people come to witches not for our access to magic, but for our wisdom.
Right.
They come to us for advice. All right. So again, anyone that's going around and claiming that title of witch or whatever, realize there are some responsibilities as soon as you put that title on yourself.
And as soon as you put it out there.
All right. The expectations change. So
yes,
again, and I'm not trying to point fingers at anyone, but when you have these people out here who've read a few books and then go, oh, I'm a witch. And they don't realize what kind of damage they can do.
Right.
Because again, that title it gives you some authority there. And in craft, every time we give you a title or authority, we give you a bunch of responsibility on top.
Right. I mean, we talked more about that in another episode where we were talking about counseling and how that, the responsibilities of that, and it's a big deal. But it goes beyond counseling. It's your interactions with people.
Let me give you an example of what I was talking about, all right? Because somebody actually did this, all right? Older lady, thought she had the evil eye on her for years. Goes to a witch and goes, hey, can you remove this? Even though the witch sat there and goes, okay, this is how this works. This is how the evil eye works. All you got to do is just not believe in it. Over and over again. Wouldn't accept it.
Nope.
All right. Wind up going to her house and having to do a cleansing ritual for her because, again, people want prompts and circumstances.
Of course they do.
All right.
They want the ritual.
And again, while we're talking about this, me being a dumbass, not knowing what I was doing, didn't realize how integrity or how much this was wrapped up in her whole entire being.
Right.
All right. So in doing this, she finally thought, hey, I've lost the evil eye. And she begins to relax to the point where her heart almost stops and we have to call an emergency 911 and get an ambulance out.
Yep.
Why? Because I read a few books and I didn't know really what in the world I was doing psychologically to people.
Mm-hmm.
So again, when you pick that up, you can hurt people. People listen to you.
Mm-hmm. There are real consequences to what you claim to be and what you claim to know.
Right. And you better be quite sure about what in the world you know before you sit there and run your mouth and you actually hurt someone.
Absolutely. So with that being said, why do you think these type of shortcuts or these type of I don't know what else you'd call them, but why do you think they're so appealing? I mean,
Because they're shortcuts.
but well, I mean, we understand they're destructive, but why? Why would you want to take these shortcuts?
Because going the long way around will require you to be a little bit more honest about yourself and to others. And it's not no shortcut to power.
Hmm. So you're
It's
saying
authority.
basically if you're taking these shortcuts, chances are you are running from yourself and you're running from hard questions, you're running from the things that you
From
really can't answer.
right. It's what you're doing.
Wow.
You're just trying to hide it underneath all these different labels and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. Now it's different when you're in a temple because again, you get training. You get people that observe your pattern of behavior. You know, we don't give you that authority without telling you what your responsibilities are.
Right.
I
Well,
mean,
and we're also observing without you always knowing we're observing. So,
right. I know a lot of people find it very, refining or don't like it and want to call it gatekeeping, but no, first degrees can do very little as far as priests and priestesses go.
well, I
They're
don't.
not really trained up enough to do some of the other things like a second degree are, where we've pounded therapy stuff and counseling into you repeatedly. And are you with me?
Yeah, and I was gonna say it's. I don't consider that gatekeeping. I consider that as it's a training level. You're not
Well,
prepared
again,
for it, so we're not going to give it to you.
it's a compass. Am I saying that right? Competency.
Competency.
Competence. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, dyslexia.
Yeah. It's kind of like saying Mississippi. Mississippi.
Right.
But I mean, there's the point, and that's what everybody has to understand: is the belief is as you go up in the ranks, while you get more and more authority, you wind up with more responsibility on top of it too.
Mm,
Something has to wrangle in that authority, wrangle in that power.
right.
All right. If you don't put weights and measures to hold people back, they're going to do weird stuff.
Oh yeah.
People are going to get the big heads and think they're all that and go out and do stuff that they really probably shouldn't do.
Well, with that being said, let's look at some ways that you can build that integrity, to build that spiritual muscle, if you will, that allows you to have that moral compass regardless of who's watching.
Well, again, if you're honestly following your morals, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are keeping your word, if you're accepting responsibility for your actions, if you're trying to maintain balance,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Now we're not talking about perfect balance here. We're just don't overwork, don't overeat, don't
Right.
do everything in moderation. All right. And again, accepting responsibility for your actions, that's not that hard. All right. The fact is that you've made all the choices up to now.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Well, I think it also.
These are the decisions I made, so
Yeah.
it can't be somebody else's fault.
Exactly. But I think it also entails things, little things. Well, and I say little because to a lot of people they are. But I think it includes little things like keeping promises to yourself.
Oh God,
not
yes.
just to other people. If you can't, like, if you promised yourself, okay, Saturday I'm gonna clean the house. I'm gonna go through all this old stuff that I haven't done in a while, and I'm gonna clean it up. and you can't keep that promise to yourself, I think that's an issue.
That's a bigger issue than any of the other ones.
Right. But I think it also entails like doing the work, even if you're tired, bored, unmotivated, whatever. Do it anyway.
Well, like I tell this story, we pound this into everybody else's head so much about keeping your word. I remember having a conversation with Lady Keegan going, "Hey, it's 10 o'clock at night. You know what I'm doing? Making milkshakes for my kids because I promised them because you taught me I couldn't break my word."
Right.
So I'm giving milkshakes to my kids at 10 o'clock at night, and they're supposed to be in the bed.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I think it entails all of those things, and I think doing all of that, keeping your word, owning up to your mistakes and your actions, and all this stuff, keeping promises to yourself, keeping your space clean, organized. I think all of this helps shape your not just your magical self, but your personal
No,
self as well.
yes. I mean, again, everything's linked together. I'm sorry if you're a chaotic person. Look in your house. Your house is probably chaotic too,
Mm-hmm.
and it's probably you probably waste more time trying to find stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? And again, not trying to take the thunder away from somebody else's podcast, but no, if you're already living chaos, you do not need to invite any more in by worshiping chaos beings and stuff like that. That makes no sense. You're just making the matters worse.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not saying that a little bit of chaos isn't fun every so often, but all the time, come on, y'all.
Right.
We can back off a little.
Right. So now you also talked about within the group, right?
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about that previously. So it comes down to being trustworthy, right? Especially when you're in a
Right.
group of people and you're working with folks. And if you don't have that trust, I mean, what do we say? Perfect love and perfect trust. And that means everything to us. If I can't
Right.
trust you, then you're not someone with integrity.
Well, again, that trust, we have to, I have to give you a reason to trust me.
Right.
And me sitting here going, hey, we're going to do class tomorrow at this time, blah, blah, blah. Oh, never mind. We're going to cancel class because I'm going to go.
Right.
How does that make y'all trust me? Where does that come from? It don't come out of nowhere. You don't automatically, it has to be observed over time, over and over again.
Absolutely. We set the model for that integrity, if you will. We set the model for that. And
Right.
if we can't live up to that, how can we expect you to live up to that?
Exactly. Because again, we can't sit here and teach you to do something we don't do ourselves.
Right. And it also means that as leaders, we have to be pretty rigorous about watching the dynamics within the group. Because if we allow people that we can't trust or people with no integrity in, that's going to create gossip. It's going to passive aggressive behavior, some aggressive behaviors, and everything's just going to go to hell in a handbasket.
Right. Because again, nobody trusts each other and everybody's too busy backstabbing each other instead of
Right. And
doing
what good is that doing anybody? It's not.
But it's not. It's drama for drama's sake. And in most traditional temples that I know of, these people weed themselves out pretty fast.
Yes, they do.
All right. Because again, the majority of times, most covens I know don't put up with these behaviors.
Mm-mm. And for good reason.
I mean, again, we've talked about this before. Covens, majority of the time, when you got two people fighting, will tell both people to get the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't fix the problem, so we will, and bye. Nobody's happy.
Right. If you can't fix it, then nobody needs to be here.
Right. There's some pride there when you do keep your word. There is something inside that makes you feel proud of yourself where when you realize people can count on you.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell you this repeatedly.
Right. Well,
You know,
it's like in my personal work, it makes me feel good when I go in as a contract worker and I'm being scrutinized on everything that I do. And I know this.
yep.
So it makes me, I won't lie, it makes me feel good when, say, like there's another opening for another contract worker and they say, hey, can we get another one of you?
Right.
That makes me feel good about what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, I've had jobs. There's somebody I worked for like 10 years. And he finally figured out quite early if he can get me to actually say, yeah, I'll take care of that, or to get my word, he never worried about it ever again.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, if he was in that type of position again, I would be surprised if my phone did not ring. No, you need to show up now.
Right. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I need you
You're
here.
working for me again.
Right.
I need your expertise right now. And mainly it's because I kept my word. I showed
Right.
up. And again, we don't think about this a lot. I mean, I said something about being late for work because again, when you're sitting there and you're doing that job interview and you're hearing the job description, you know, you are promising these things. You're promising to show up on time. Work starts at this time. You're going to show up at this time. That's what you're promising. If you're not doing it, when layoffs come, what were you expecting?
Well, that's when your internal compass needs to start working, if you will. We'll call it that.
Right.
That's it's the thing that it's a self check.
Yes.
And if you can't keep yourself in check, then your integrity is going to suffer. And nobody's going to want you around. Nobody's going to want to take your advice. Nobody's going to want to do business with you.
No.
It's going to affect everything you do.
And I hate to be this way. No, if you keep this up and all this, why would anybody turn to you for help? I mean, and I'm sorry, when you are, and especially when you're standing up there going, no, I am a spiritual leader. I am a member of the community.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a leader, and y'all should listen to me. Why should we?
Right.
Where's your integrity? Where's what in the world you said you were going to do?
And to self-check is not just for, coven members or anything like it's also for solitaries. And we can all do the same things. Ask yourself simple questions. Am I doing what I claim to be doing?
Well, I mean,
have I been honest about my experience?
I mean, look at it this way. What would you do if it was done to you?
Right.
How would you feel? Somebody keeps on breaking their word to you like you've broke it to other people over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Still on the phrase from the Christians again, but yes, if you want people to treat you the way you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I see a lot of these people that do this where they don't have that integrity or anything like that. Then they get mad when nobody treats them like they have integrity. Whose fault was that?
Right. I mean,
because then you're just failing the whole entire accepting responsibilities for your actions.
Yep.
Go figure.
We've come full circle on that one before, haven't we?
Repeatedly.
And it won't be the last time.
Shoot, most of our listeners are probably sitting here going, this again?
Right?
Yes.
Yes, this again, because it's vital. It's vital to what we do.
It is. It is. And again, I still want to stress this, all right? Picking up that mantle of witch, first degree, second degree, third degree, you're putting while you might be picking up authority, but you're also picking up responsibilities to the community at large.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. Once you put a name to that and you put it out there to the community, you've just accepted responsibility.
Right. And you need to treat it as such. You need to treat it with the respect in which it comes to you as.
Absolutely.
So, anything else?
I think that covers a bit of, we've covered consequences. We've covered
everything.
Definition of integrity.
All right.
Integrity is not. It's not about perfection. It's more about consistency. So
Yes,
if you're
it's
just
more about
consistent,
consistent.
yeah, if you're consistent with what you do, then the integrity
Yeah,
builds,
yes, slowly over time.
right? And always remember,
All right.
it is the
Uh,
quiet, uncelebrated choices that define your character and your craft.
And with that said, we all need coffee.
Yes. So,
Like,
like, share, review,
share, the
send us
subscribe.
subscribe, send us comments, all that good stuff, and we
Thumbs
will
up, please, more thumbs up.
talk to you later. Thanks for listening. Join us next week for another episode. Pagan Coffee Talk is brought to you by Life Temple and Seminary. Please visit us at lifetempleseminary.org for more information, as well as links to our social media: Facebook, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit.
We travel down this trodden path, a maze of stone and mire. Just hold my hand as we pass by a sea of blazing pyres. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning breaks. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning